Hello infidels, me AAA back again. This morning I woke to a vid by Bearing. Fucking love that guy, funny as shit. Go check him out if you haven't already. Basically he's roasting this
fucking degenerate
woman who thinks human interaction should be a crime. So I watched her vid and thought I needed to address a few points. Okay, let's dive in, shall we?
We passed a man who was either homeless or just really enjoyed sitting next to a building looking grimy, and he started yelling at me while I was walking.
The first thing I need to address is the fucking condescending way she's describing this homeless man. Like he's subhuman.
Mind you, I was holding Ian's hand, so I'm clearly with another male counterpart individual, and the guy just wouldn't stop making comments about how beautiful I was and how I should come over to him and take a seat. And as I walk by, he starts making comments about my body, specifically my butt, and what he would like to do to me. And I remember Ian squeezing my hand tighter, and he said, "Just ignore it." And I was like, "Are you not gonna say anything?" And he goes, "Well, we don't know if he could kill us." And at first I thought he was joking, but then I realized he was serious. Like, that is the thing that my boyfriend said to me. And the fact that it didn't bother my boyfriend as much as it bothered me made me even more irritated. I wanted to say something, but like as soon as Ian said those words to me, I immediately was overcome with fear. And I just didn't say anything, and I kept walking, and that sucked.
Now, you chastise your boyfriend for being realistic, for knowing that men are more likely to be assaulted or even killed in cases of street violence. Jesus. The poor dude was probably thinking to himself, fuck this, I don't want to fight a crazy bum just because you're too over-fucking sensitive. Then you have the audacity to expect him to not feel the same fear you yourself did at this realization.
Another time when I went to a mall that's very close to my house, and I was by myself just doing some leisurely shopping, and I was walking to my car because I was done shopping for the day, and a male dude came over to me and started talking to me. He was like, "Hey, what's your name? You're pretty." And I'm like, okay, thanks. And I just kept walking. He's like, "You're not going to tell me your name?" I'm like, "No, it's okay." He's like, "What do you mean it's okay? Just tell me your name." I'm like, "I don't think it matters." He's keeping pace with me, and I'm clearly trying to get away from him. And he just keeps asking me questions. So finally he asks me, "Do you have a boyfriend or something?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually I'm married," which I'm not married, but it's really sad that I have to resort to like making it seem like I'm even more taken to get him to go away. And he says to me, "Well, that's okay. I can just be your side guy." No, sir. Any respectable human being would have said, "Oh, my apologies, have a great day," and walk away. But this guy just wouldn't stop. So he continued to follow me, continued to make comments about my appearance, and he's literally walking right next to me, like right next to me. And so I just kept ignoring him, and we get to the point where we are about to leave the mall. Mind you, it is dark outside, and I don't want this dude following me to my car, and that's what it was coming to. So I started to slow down a little bit as we were passing the food court, which is right near the exit, and I think he finally realized that I just wasn't going to give him any time to speak to me, so he says, "Well, it was nice to meet you," and walks away. And I was so thankful, but I literally sat in the food court for at least 10 minutes to make sure that he didn't follow me outside to find out what car was mine and try to make a move in some way. And I hate that this is a norm for me, and I don't think people realize that women go through this on the daily. And yes, it occurs for men too. I'm not saying that men do not get sexually harassed, but for the most part, the majority of the harassment is occurring towards women.
See, in this part she says it's sad that she has to make it seem as if she's more taken than she is, when if she actually showed the guy the respect of saying, "No, I have a boyfriend, you're wasting your time by you making me uncomfortable." Do you know what I mean? In a respectable manner, then he would have said, "Right, fine, okay, sorry love, I'll catch you later." Yeah? But yet she feels that she has to lie in order to get rid of this guy. But what she's doing is actually leading him on by thinking that he has a chance. Because she has not asserted herself and said, "Look, no, it's not going to happen." And the fact that she can't get this like simple concept really says a lot about her mental acuity.
Shouldn't you be grateful for the attention? It's a compliment. Get over it. You're a pretty girl. In a way, that's also harassment.
I think you need to look up the definition of harassment, love. Someone engaging in small talk is not harassing you, unless, when asked to leave you alone, they don't comply or touch you inappropriately.
I keep using quotes because compliment, sexual harassment, same thing in this circumstance.
Really? You think a compliment and sexual harassment are the same fucking thing? Go and look up the definition of compliment.
And the majority of the compliments that I receive aren't meant to be kind. They're meant to be corrosive.
How can a compliment be corrosive? Surely by definition, if a comment is corrosive, then it's an insult, right?
And we're just told to ignore sexual harassment unless it's from a nice guy. We are expected to know the difference immediately and react accordingly. And yet again, it's men who are telling us the best way to handle these situations. When in fact, it is we, the victims of sexual harassment, who know best.
No one has ever said you have to make up a snap judgment about a man. No one has ever once said that you must ignore sexual harassment. Real sexual harassment. Never even once. Quite to the contrary, in fact. If you are actually being sexually harassed, then call the fucking police. But if you're going to call the police because someone said you have a nice arse, then expect to be arrested yourself for wasting police time.
A lot of men go through life feeling invisible. And this is partially due to the fact that there's like a toxic male masculinity issue, and also because men just don't typically engage other men on the street.
I love how this woman has clearly no self-awareness, because in one sentence she's telling us that men can't know what it's like for a woman. Then in another she dictates how men feel and interact with each other. Hypocrisy, anyone?
As many times as someone has touched us, yelled at us, hit on us, hit us, raped us, threatened us, stalked us, spat on us, propositioned us, we've also been told just to ignore it.
I call bullshit on this entire fucking tirade that you've just fucking spurted out. I bet you've been spat on, I bet you've been propositioned, and the rest is bullshit. But yet all women face this on a daily basis and get told to fucking ignore it. If someone's been raped, then the police will fucking take notice. They won't say, oh, well, never mind, just ignore it. Jesus fuck.
The truth is, we don't have the luxury of ignoring harassment.
The truth is, you're not fucking harassed. That's the fucking truth. If you were, you would have grounds to get someone arrested.
We engage, and we're kind, because that's what ultimately keeps us safe.
You're kind because that's what keeps you safe. If someone really wanted to hurt you, whether you were kind or not would not make the slightest bit of fucking difference.
Being kind to someone simply because I'm afraid that they'll hurt me if I do otherwise.
This is what's wrong with society today. Everyone thinks the worst of everyone else. Everyone thinks that everyone else is a rapist. Everyone's a serial fucking rapist because that's all you seem to see on the TV. You can't just say that every single man's a rapist, and if they're trying to talk to you, then they're trying to groom you for rape. Jesus fuck, come on, woman. The fact that you're scared to be who you are in front of other people that you don't know because you're scared they're going to react with violence says a lot about who you are and who you perceive yourself as. You get what I'm saying?
In regards to sexual harassment, it's something that we deal with on the daily.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
I can tell that you personally hardly ever get this kind of attention, because I know glamour model friends of mine and sisters of friends who, when this happens, they have a set speech that they give straight away. They have a predetermined response that tells a man, look, I'm not interested, I don't want to be rude, I don't want to offend you, but fuck off. And I've seen them do this. And men have been, okay, fair enough. Like, I understand. Have a good day. See you later, love. Bye. And that's how easy it is. If you're respectful, they will be respectful.
Fucking degenerate.
And she bleats on for what feels like an hour about men have no right to woman's time and harassment is not the woman's fault or responsibility. Basically just bitch-splaining, but I'll save you guys the earache. Well, I'm out. If you like the vid, give me a thumbs up and a sub, or not, whatever. and I'll see you guys around. Peace.
Get sexually harassed. Harassment. Also harassment. Sexual harassment. Sexual harassment. Sexual harassment. Sexual harassment. Not all men harass women.